me go ahead and share screen. Do we see what should I eat?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this will be this week's masterclass is what should I eat? And it's a three-step guide for choosing the best foods for your body. I'm going to go over the first two steps. A lot of times when people start a workout program, they think they have to jump through 10 hoops, loops, and do a backward flip and land perfectly. No, it just needs to move in the right direction. So I'm going to make this available to you. It's an easy to use chart, and it's a way to make healthier, sustainable choices to really achieve your goals. And what's really important, still enjoy the foods you love. You don't have to do chicken and broccoli every single day. Nobody should be able to do that every day. All right. So the big paradigm shift I want you to go from is good versus bad, good versus evil, to more of a spectrum. And that spectrum spans from eat more to eat less. And the biggest takeaway from this is still eating foods you enjoy and sustainability. I don't believe in diets. If you take the first three words of a diet, it literally says die. That's not good. This needs to be a lifestyle. So let's go over this. We have the first category is eat more of. And we have a protein category, carbs and fats. Again, I'll make this available to you as well. So in the protein category, we want to have more fish. We want to have lean beef, bison. This might be different from people who want to limit their meat. There is also other choices in there, lentils, beans. And then in the eat more category in carbs, we have beans, lentils. We have buckwheat. We have potatoes. And then in fats, we have almonds, Brazil nuts, pecans. And this is the category that should be our first choice. Eat more of these things. And then we have eat some category. And that is going to be in the orange or yellow category. So under protein, it's going to be Canadian bacon. It's going to be medium lean meats at the deli. And then in carbs, we have vegetable juice, granola, white rice. And then fats, we have dark chocolate, cheese, aged 6 months or more, coconut oil, or milk. So again, the big takeaway, you should not be viewing it as, I eat this, it's good. I eat this, it's bad. There's a spectrum. And then we have the eat less category. And this is typically what most people would refer to as guilty pleasure. So in eat less, it's pink category. Protein, we have fried meats. We have high fat sausage. We have high fat ground meat. In the carbs, we have cereal bars or protein bars, fruit juices, flavored milk. And then in the fats category, we have bacon, we have sausage, we have butter. So using this new paradigm, you should never, ever say, I don't know what to eat. If you say that, your system or plan isn't serving you. So remember, it's a spectrum. This is also going to help you figure out what to go shopping for as well. And I'll tell you how this fits into a day-to-day plan and what this actually looks like to as well. We also want to eat vegetables. We want to eat the rainbow. It's really, really important. We have purple, green, we have white, we have yellow, we have red. So we want to start incorporating more of the rainbow when it comes to vegetables. And this adds another layer of variety in your diet. So red category, red radishes, red peppers, red onions. We have a purple category too. And so just be aware of this. Start getting a little bit more variety when it comes to your vegetables. And then number two, all right, we take that spectrum and we want to, step number two is base food choices on your goals. This is why one size fits all does not work. So the proportions of your food intake come from eat more, eat some, and eat less categories, and depend on how you eat now and what your goals are. I'll go over two examples. So this is a meal here. And this first one starting off is for most people starting off a new program. Let me see. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Zoom in. So this first category, you want to generally improve your health. You're new to exercise or exercise moderately, and you want to look and feel and perform better. So for each meal, you would start off with one eat more, two portions of eat some, and then two portions of eat less. This is counterintuitive. Why would you include these two eat less? Is because sustainability and consistency is the king of losing and keeping weight off. Going from one extreme to another is basically how people can't sustain starting or keeping on a nutrition or fitness program. So I really want you guys to have a sustainable plan that you can stay consistent over 6-12 months. And then we have somebody here. They want to significantly improve their health and maintain a high degree of health. They're maybe training for an event and they want above average body composition. And what they would do for each meal is they would have three portions from eat more, one from eat less, and then one from eat some. You don't have to eat perfect every meal. You just got to eat for your goal. And then there's other two categories here too as well. And then obviously I'm going to give room for questions and clarify this too. Make sure you have a pen and paper too as well. And if you don't, have something with notes, because pen and paper makes things you hear become real life actionable. All right. So the next thing is we're going to make this available to you so you can create your own spectrum so that you never have to say to yourself, I don't know what to eat or I don't know what to shop for. I'll give a broad overview here. So we have green category. We have the veggies category too as well. We have the yellow category and we have the red category. So I'll go over this really quickly. Green is green foods you like or want to try. Yellow foods I want to incorporate. And then red foods I want to indulge in. And then we also have the rainbow here. And then what I would like for you guys to do is on your piece of paper, or if you're doing iPhone, create a green category for protein, carbs, and fat. You can just put pro, carb, fat, and make room for three of them. We're going to do that on today's class. And then we're going to make this available to everybody at Terranova Fitness too as well, so we can full spectrum your whole plan. All right, so let's go up to eat more of. I'm going to make this smaller so you guys can see the full spectrum. Let me see here. And then I want you to start picking, let's just do two foods from protein, carbs, and fats.
Ooh.
I'm going to give everybody about a minute here. So two from each category. You got the protein on the left, carbs in the middle, and then fats on the right side. We'll give about another 30 seconds here. Just do two from each category. If you want to do an extra one, feel free to do that. All right, got it. Does everybody have at least two from each category? Yeah, Perfect. Okay, gotcha. And then what we are going to make available for you guys is we're going to have this whole spectrum, and we are actually going to include this on your dashboard where we're going to make sure that you create your own spectrum. So you have a plan in place that you can take action on. Okay. I am going to open this up for questions. What questions, feedback, or takeaways do you have?
There's nothing about the amount.
Yeah. We don't do that until phase 3.
Okay.
And the reason we don't do that is because when you try to learn more than one thing at a time, it decreases the likelihood of you adhering to it.
Okay.
And it is counterintuitive, but it's a step-by-step process. And I have tons of data on this. And what I'll give you a preview of it, but it's essentially using your hand. So for protein, it fits into your palm. For fat, use your thumbs. For carbs, you can use a fist, meaning a fistful of carbs. Those are some of the examples. Yep.
Okay.
When is this available to us? Because I know we had the first meeting last week I attended, and then this. Just curious when I can access the information, so it's handy.
Yeah, we have it right now, and we've had it in the past too as well. What we are upgrading is having this particular spectrum where we want to make sure that you've completed that, and we'll have a record for each member so that we know that anytime you need to ask the question, what do I eat? You have that plan in place. And so we can send that to you today, this actual PDF. And then what we're going to have available during our Nest Success check-ins is we want to make sure every single member has their spectrum completely filled out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll get the PDF from the last week's meeting as well on
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll make a note of that. Eric will make a note of that. We'll send both of them out to you. We'll send them out to you in the next hour, actually.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah, awesome. And then any other questions, takeaways, anything else? How are you guys going to incorporate this?
I mean, I would have it available to me, so it's like printed out. I can see it. It's on the fridge. I bring it with me shopping. That's my plan. As far as
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Essentially have your compass at all times until it becomes second nature, and that's going to take some time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And again, one of the big takeaways I want everyone to get from this is stop playing. And I'm not saying you or anybody here is stop playing that game of, oh, I'm trying to eat perfect. And then I screw up, and then I beat myself up. And then I beat myself up because I beat myself up. Don't play that game. It's a losing game. If you've ever seen the movie War Games from the 1980s, at the end, the machine says the winning play is to not play the game. So just don't play that game. Play a new game. Play a game that sets you up for long-term success and sustainability. And that would be what I hope is the big takeaway here. I still eat things that if you saw me eat, you'd be like, why is he eating them? Well, I want to indulge in it. I do it infrequently and I work out hard. Life's not worth living if there's two extremes. One extreme is always eating unhealthy. The other extreme is always eating healthy. Those are two extremes, and one's better than the other, obviously. But, life happens. You're going to be out with friends. They're going to have something there. I had a friend's birthday party. I had a piece of cake. I haven't had cake in probably a year, but I indulged it. I enjoyed it and I didn't beat myself up about it. And I probably won't have cake for a while after that, but I enjoyed it and indulged in it. And there's room for that. Yeah. Any other takeaways or any questions about how we're going to incorporate this? We're going to send this out to both of you through text and the email in the next hour or two as well.
I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But
What specifically is going to be a challenge?
for me, it's to reduce the carbs because I tend to be carb heavy. But to learn the balance and what combinations I will like.
Yeah. It's like a board game. You're going to have to play around with the pieces.
Mhm.
And what specifically is a challenge about that?
The discipline.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Um, Mentally, I know what I'm supposed to do, but it's to keep in mind what the goal is and, I want to say follow the rules, but I think that's a negative concept. I think it's a matter of really learning what feels good to me, feels good to my body versus what mentally is satisfying. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense. Is it, short-term gratification versus uh what's long-term best for your body?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. No, that makes total sense. Can I give you an alternative way to view this and then you can kind of sit on that?
Yes.
It seems counterintuitive, but I think goals actually destroy most dreams and most destinations because what goals do, and I'm not saying don't have goals, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, is goals, you become a slave to the goal and you look at outside things to grant you permission to feel good or bad. So it works like this, all right? Uh, if I did the thing, I give myself permission to feel good. If I didn't do the thing, now I give myself permission to beat myself up. And that's just like the human condition. That's no one's immune to that, not me. The alternative view to do is go away from goals. So I'll give an example. Um, some people have the goal of running a marathon, and that's great. But then when you run the marathon, what next?
Mm-hmm.
And a better, more sustainable way is to work on identity change. And so I want to become a runner and have a runner's lifestyle. And what do runners do? They run marathons, but they just don't do run marathons. They do other things in between. And so the alternative, more energetically sustainable way is think about it as far as identity. What does somebody who eats healthy more times than not, what's the identity they have? I can tell you because I am that person. I eat healthy the majority of the time. And then the times I slip up, I take note of it and awareness and try to figure out why it happens, but I don't beat myself up because I know I'm human.
Mm-hmm.
And healthy people will indulge in things, but the majority of their nutrition comes from eat more of. And then I seldom indulge in the red stuff. And so I don't need permission from my food to feel good or bad because I've developed the deep identity of who I am. And so I don't need permission from an external force to feel good or bad. It's coming from internally. And one of the ways to figure that out is like, all right, somebody who eats healthy, what are the thoughts, beliefs, and actions they indulge in? And part of that is not being perfect all the time, and that's okay. And then our discipline goes up and down. Mine goes up and down too as well. And so that's part of the identity. Does that kind of make sense? The difference between identity and like goals?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not what you do, it's who you are. And if you indulge too much one weekend, it's like, all right, well, take note of it, be aware of it, and then get back on the horse. Because somebody who has the identity of eating healthy, they're able to get back on the horse because that's their identity. And it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but those are some of the questions to ask yourself. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, hopefully that's helpful.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, and here's another thing. I was talking to my mentor. How can you get it to feel? And so lots of thinking, but feel it like in your belly, in your lower abdomen, because sometimes we get too stuck in our head.
Okay.
And I find that it's easier to act when it's more in your belly. The focus is more on your lower body versus stuck in your head. So just be aware of that. Yeah. The last thing I'll say is when there's a lot to think about, just take the smallest possible action. That's the identity of somebody who eats healthy. They just take the smallest possible action. That's it. And so if you feel like there's too much information, just take the smallest action that you can take to give yourself evidence you are the person you say you are. Yeah. So it literally might just be start by just making your own spectrum, and that's what you do today. Yeah. Anything else, Eric, Leslie, Susan?
I just missed the first few minutes because of technical challenge logging on, so I'm not sure if I missed anything. But I think it'll be self-explanatory maybe when you send the sheets.
Yeah, that's a good question. And I also had some tech issues with the new mic. So I'll send you the recording and then I'll send you the PDF.
Perfect.
But the basic, if I could do it in like 10 seconds, the old paradigm is I have to eat perfect. I only have to have broccoli and chicken. And like it's a losing game. You can't sustain that, right? And so the sustainability is creating a spectrum so that you can become healthy, lose body fat, have strength, but also not suffer mentally because of it, because we should incorporate some of these other foods, but on a spectrum. And so that's the big takeaway. It's not just all good or bad. I can't eat that, never. It's like, yeah, you can. Just incorporate it little by little, depending on what your goals are. And so you should always be able to answer the question of what should I eat once you fill out this spectrum. And that's going to help with the shopping list too as well.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Any takeaways there, Eric?
Yeah, very informative. Got a lot of things to think about, especially with the food intake, maintaining, making sure that it's maintainable, and just a new mindset that nothing is set in stone. Everything's you know, fluid. You can choose what to eat, and be sustainable as well. Be healthy.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say is this is the pen, obviously. Be aware if you're staring at the pen too long and thinking about the pen too long. At a certain point, you got to pick the pen up and start writing. And that doesn't mean you got to write War and Peace day one. It just start doing something. And then it starts adding up, building momentum. And so if you feel like you're thinking too much, start picking up the pen and writing with it. Do the smallest possible action every single day. And then a wonderful thing called momentum starts taking over. All right. Awesome. We're gonna have this recording available, and then we're gonna email and text you this PDF and the one from last week. And then what we're gonna have for our next success week, we're basically going to have each person fill out their own spectrum. So they always have that game plan of what should I eat, what should I shop for? And then we'll help you with the portions. That's gonna be coming next.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the facility next time. And then, yeah, look out for the text and email that we're going to send out today, too, as well.
Great.
Yep. Take care.
Thanks.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
my pleasure.